Big hello everybody and welcome to Maldon. At the moment we're in Maldon Cemetery. It's All Saints Day and we've laid some candles down for my grandfather.
And some stones.
And Jana's bought some beautiful little glass stones and she's put some stones down as well. So yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about it as we go around. Enjoy. Jana and I are starting our trip today in Church Street, Maldon, because not only do we want to visit Maldon Cemetery to pay our respects to my grandfather, Jana's great-grandfather, but we also wanted to revisit a few locations around the town that are connected in one way or another to our family story. So our first stop is St Mary's Church, where a few of our forebears are buried. Many of these locations Jana has never visited, so it's going to be a new adventure for her. It's the 1st of November, All Saints Day, and being that my grandfather identified himself as Roman Catholic, although baptised Greek Catholic, and in keeping with family tradition, we intend to light some candles next to his gravesite. My grandfather, John Kuta, was born in 1924 in Komárno, Galicia, which is an Eastern European territory that existed between 1770 and 1918. At the time of his birth, Komárno was a Polish town. I will tell you a little more about this as the film progresses. Firstly, a little wander around St Mary's Church. Just here, under this extension, is buried my 2 times great-grandmother, Charlotte Anna Newman, who was born Charlotte Discott on the 19th of July 1866 in Compton Valence, Dorset. She moved to Essex with her first husband, Charles Barrett, a soldier from Colchester, my 2 times great-grandfather. Sadly, he died very young and is buried in Colchester. But Charlotte is buried alongside her second husband, Frederick. It's a shame, though, that this new extension was built right on top of their burial. Charlotte died in Spittal Road, Maldon, on the 23rd of April 1935. All Saints Day, also known as All Hallows Day or Hallow Mass, is a Christian celebration in honour of all the saints from Christian history. In Western Christianity, it is observed on November 1st by the Roman Catholic Church, the Methodist Church, the Lutheran Church, and other Protestant denominations. The Eastern Orthodox Church and associated Eastern Catholic churches observe All Saints' Day on the first Sunday following Pentecost. The Christian festival of All Saints' Day comes from a conviction that there is a spiritual connection between those in heaven and on earth. In Catholic tradition, the holiday honours all those who have passed on to the kingdom of heaven. It is a national holiday in numerous historical Catholic countries. In Methodist tradition, All Saints' Day relates to giving God earnest gratitude for the lives and deaths of his saints. remembering those who were well known and not. Additionally, individuals throughout Christian history are celebrated, such as Peter the Apostle and Charles Wesley, as well as people who have personally guided one to faith in Jesus, such as one's relative or friend. Right now we're taking a wander down Fitch's Crescent, which is not far from St Mary's Church and the promenade. It is here that my grandfather John lived, with my grandmother Rosie May. Every time I visit this street, it's always a trip down memory lane for me, as I stayed here as a small boy and have a lot of early memories of the place. And just here is where my grandfather lived, and where he sadly passed away too. Certainly changed a lot from what I remember as a small boy. For many years I have been piecing together the life of my grandfather, John Kuta, or as he was known in Poland, Jan Kuta, or in the Ukraine, Ivan Kaita, and France, Jean Kuta. My grandfather was associated with all these places and moved around a lot, not always through choice. As a result, his story is a complicated one. He was a Pole, born on the 21st of January 1924. His family fled Poland just a few weeks before the Russians, Ukrainians invaded, and the family settled in Bethune, France. His ordeal was not over, as the Nazis invaded France in 1940, and he found himself on the wrong side of Nazi Germany whilst fighting and protesting against them. On one occasion, my grandfather was arrested in Ham, Belgium. He was then transferred to Moorbach concentration camp via Detmold Courthouse, Germany. Moorbach is classed as a French camp, although now located close to its border in Germany. It is a subsidiary camp that belonged to Natzweiler Strafhof, a camp infamous for human experiments. Please forgive my pronunciation of the German words. So that's your great grandfather? He's going to come from Poland?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
Just my dad's dad. Mm. He died on the 23rd of February 1978. So that was about 4 months before I was born.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so 42 years ago.
You didn't even get to see him?
No, I never met him.
Are you even gonna cry still?
No, I'm okay.
I know you're.
So my grandfather was transported to his prison on 5th of November 1942 at 9 minutes past 11 in the morning. He was sentenced to 8 weeks on 2 separate occasions, but may easily have been held longer. He was forced to work hard manual labour, and on one occasion didn't comply. So my grandfather's hands were placed into a machine and the Nazis broke them. On his release, he would have had no money and probably walked 446 kilometres. That's 277.13 miles to his home in Bethune through dangerous war-ravaged France. Whilst home in France, his family worked tiresomely as farmers. For 3 years, they lived on a diet of turnips, as food was scarce and monopolised by the Germans. Eventually, by the end of World War II, he ended up in a Polish displacement camp in Essex, England. It is believed he arrived in 1945. My grandfather, Jan Kuter, was one of those people that lived on the edge and survived more than most of us ever could. I never knew my grandfather. He died just a few months before I was born. I would have been his first grandson, and like my sister before me, I imagine he would have been a godsend to us. Everyone that talks of him always do with admiration and love. He was a nice man and respected by everyone that knew him. Jan Kuter was born on the 18th of January 1924 in Kartenice, Lviv, Poland. He was one of 4 known children born to Mikhail and Katarzyna Kuter. Jan was born during a difficult time, right at the beginning of the Second Polish Republic, a time of interwar which started with the recreation of independent Poland in 1918 and ended with the occupation of Poland by Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union at the onset of the Second World War. During the Second Polish Republic, Poland was often chaotic and for some an unsafe place to be. Jan's family especially lived in a region of Poland which bordered with Ukraine, a piece of land disputed and fought over by more than one country for over 200 years. John hardly ever spoke about what happened in Germany, in Poland, upon the borders of Ukraine. All I can guess is that the memory he had was too heartbreaking to remember. John was taken from us on the 23rd of February 1978 at 44 Fitches Crescent, Malden. He passed away suddenly through cardiac arrest and ischemic heart disease. He was 54 years old. No age really, and a great loss to the family he left behind. John's ashes were laid to rest here at London Road Cemetery, Malden, where this memorial still remains today. A small reminder of a brave and amazing man.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now